allowed me to have a free expression of my own web TV show. And then I was able to bring other people with me who has their own content, independent producers, to be able to get their word out and whatever their message is, whether it was, comedy or they're just doing talk shows about relationships or business or people.
You'll be the first one to be introduced under the Unnoticed show. The others will speak here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, right. So Audrey Wiggins, welcome. Thank you for joining me all the way from Cleveland, Ohio today.
Yeah, thank you, Jim. It's awesome to be here.
Great. Well, you've joined us on the Unnoticed show, but you are noticed, and you are someone that's been helping clients to get noticed, and really as an entrepreneur since the age of 15, building content, building shows, all manner of tremendous social media. So thanks so much for coming and sharing with us today a little bit about how WebTV works, Audrey.
Well, WebTV, you just think about taking that box from your living room and putting it inside your computer, but it's on demand. So if you think about some of your other on-demand programs that are out there, the big names, and it's the same thing, but it's more localized as far as you may be working with small producers or people who just want to get their content out, but maybe they don't have $100,000 to buy into one of those other networks.
Right. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Not me. Yeah, so you have the opportunity to have your own network versus years ago when you had to get a satellite dish and feeds and FCC licenses and all those types of things. You can do it now. You can bring others with you, and I can also So I think that's fantastic.
You have a show and a TV program called MWMG.TV, and you are hosting shows twice a week, even though you've actually got a full-time job, right, as an administrator. So just take us through the mechanics of the show and the platform and who's it for and why are you doing it?
Okay. So for my two shows, Make Something Happen.tv and the Audrey Wiggins Show. So the first one was more, it was set up more to promote what other people are doing, like your show, The Unnoticed. So let's grab, and actually got a local award for that from the university and a couple of the local business organizations to be able to promote other entrepreneurs, politicians, up and coming ministers out there promoting their ministry. So it was a mix of a showcase and an infomercial at the same time, because basically we were showcasing this organization, and just like here, that people have the opportunity to plug into them by their website or whatever offer they may have at the end. And then the other show was more like public affairs and authors, people doing things or human interest stories. And when I had those and I thought about it, I said, I have these two shows, they need to be on a platform. And sometimes things it starts like a snowball down the hill, and it just gathers more snow until you got this big thing, and you don't even know that's what you have. I didn't even know I had a network. Somebody had to tell me. And then one day I was reading something about Netflix and looking at the stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, I have a network. And it was amazing. Yeah. So I started asking other people. Then other people came to me, well, can I put my show on your network? I sought others out, and these weren't like famous, well-known people way around the world, but nonetheless, because we're on the internet, that gave all of us an opportunity to be seen around the world with our content.
And this is, in a way, the message of the Unnoticed show is that technology really democratizes communication, right? It means that regardless of the size of your audience or even of your message, you can have your own distribution, your own network. From a practical point of view, Audrey, you had a kind of realization that, wow, I've got a network. Does everybody have a network? Is it easy for people to, for example, start streaming from their home? How does that work from a practical point of view?
Absolutely, yes. So, because all you really need is your computer. And most of these programs nowadays they work through your mobile devices too. So whether you have a tablet or using your actual mobile phone, you're able to upload, set things up, and stream it. So I have to have it on my own server. And since I offer domain names and things like that, I was able to get the server. And so it's set up on my server. So 24/7, people can log on to mwmg.tv and enjoy our content or not enjoy it.
Yeah.
They can make comments, they can share it, they can rate it, they can like it. So similar to some of the other platforms, but the bonus I think with having your own web TV network is that you don't have the competing content or unwanted ads. It is monetizable. We can have ads, and right now I have some placeholder ads and affiliate links on there. But the player, we can do pre-rolls, so people can still monetize their own content, so they can make money from it.
So in the broadcast industry, they have an archiving system and an ingesting system and an auto scheduling software. How do you manage all of that, Audrey? Is it fairly easy in terms of almost station automation software?
Yeah, it is pretty easy. It's self-contained, so those automations are built in. So when you say you upload your video for that day or for that week, however often that person is gonna stream, you can set it to where so it's like you call it fake live, so to speak. So the content's already recorded. When you put it in, say today is what's today, Wednesday. But we want the show to air at 7 p.m. Eastern time on Friday. So we can actually schedule it to go live, so to speak, on that date and time. And then after that, of course, it's on demand 24/7. All of that is built into the WebTV network, and it's WebTV Solutions is the software that I use. So everything is self-contained in there except for the fact that you have to put it on your own server. So you can definitely contact me about that.
There's a license. Do you have?
There's different levels. I bought one of the top ones so that I could have others, and I can have a demo channel. So the one that I pay for is like $497 US, and then there's lower tiers where you can just have your one channel. You may spend $100 or something like that. So this depends on what your goals are right there, and you can always, like anything else, you can always upgrade.
It's fantastic. This is something that, Audrey, you provide yourself, right? So if someone wants to set this up, they can come to you and you can just turnkey for them. Yeah. Nice. And then what about the audience, Audrey? Because we all know that creating content, whilst difficult, is not necessarily the hardest part of any production.
Mm-hmm. That is the hardest part. Being creative, that's the easy part. That's what we were born to do. I like to use the organic way, though. People can buy likes or buy people to buy into subscribing to their channels. But when you do that, just as a sidebar, they haven't bought into your content, which means when you post something, there's not going to be any comments. After that first time, there won't be any likes or shares. So you want to build your traffic organically. And it's going to take time. So you may start out, with 5 to 30 folks.
Yeah.
But if you have 30 good people that are listening to your content and sharing it and are really engaged, I think that's worth more than 300 or 3,000. But over time, you definitely will build that. But you have to be consistent with showing up with your content, knowing who you're trying to attract. So you're always out there promoting, get ambassadors, promote. And that's kind of like the shoestring. But at the same time, because we're on the internet, buying ads on the internet is not that expensive. And if you're doing it on a weekly basis, if you have $30 to spend a week, or you just have 5 a week, or you just have 30 for each show, saying you're doing a show every other week, then invest that money in that when you get to control like who your audience is as far as the demographics, who's the best person for this content. And I don't get a little deep there, but
and that's what this show is, to give people real world examples, because there's a lot of content which is kind of a general theory, but what I like to try and do is give people actionable advice on the show, because they can take it away and use it. So that's great. So people would maybe buy on Facebook and have the streaming. They stream into Facebook, stream into Twitter, or do they go directly to your TV station?
Right. I usually promote it directly to the station, but I'll use those other social channels to link over to it, because there's a subscribing mechanism on there. So you want people to subscribe. We always want subscribers, and it's free to subscribe. Or you can set it up as a revenue model where people spend $1.99 a month to access your content. You can actually do that. You can have free content, or you can have a paid channel. Just like regular, say, cable, some They used to have the fight for different major events. You do the pay-per-view, but everything else is included. So it's just, I mean, it's just a world of opportunity.
Are you using tools like Patreon, for example, for the earnings, or does your platform have a built-in sort of payment gateway where people can contribute and subscribe with credit card or cryptocurrencies or whatever else people pay with now?
It is built in. It is built in, but that doesn't mean you can't use, Patreon or some other network or gateway, like you said, to collect donations. Absolutely.
And then also, you mentioned earlier about affiliate links and how people can make money, as you say, from a relatively small but targeted audience.
Yes, yes. Because I do work with entrepreneurs and authors, there's one that I use called Designer. So that's one of my affiliate links. And when I put it out there, it was like I have it on my using it in my newsletters as well. So don't you can always use your affiliate links everywhere. We just happen to be talking about the WebTV network. But so that's part of my audience, people who are doing ebooks and on writing. So that ended up being a good affiliate to sign on to, because you can sign on to thousands of affiliates, but and then you have to maintain that. It's like, this is really attractive to the audience that I'm working with. So you choose them that way, and just remembering too that even though we're business owners, we are consumers. So you may have a small mix of affiliate links in there. That's why Amazon is always a good one, because they tailor to different audiences.
Okay, so with Amazon, you can have an Amazon affiliate link, and then your community, can you? So that Amazon will send you products and services that are audience.
Right.
Is that how that works?
Yes, yes. Hmm.
Presumably, Audrey, this is part of the consultancy that you offer as well.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, because sometimes you have the idea and the creativity. It's like, okay, so how I'm going to get this? How I'm going to make some money with this thing?
Yeah.
So, right. So then me or and my team will work with that person to wrap around and get them, to see the map out, so to speak, the whole picture. So even if it's a blog and you want to put affiliate links on there, or grow on your audience. So no matter what it is, whether it's web TV, like you said, the book, or a book, where we have to promote it. We have to promote whatever that is.
So in terms of the trends that you see, Audrey, what about Clubhouse? Are there some technologies that you see that people should be aiming for?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny you mentioned Clubhouse, because this just seemed to have exploded. I'm like, okay, let me turn off my notifications right now. But because of the intimacy and the newness of Clubhouse, I think it's real important for especially your newbies, and just even established ones, because whatever you're established, you have to maintain where you are, no matter where you are, and grow. So we're always in a constant state of needing to grow, and to be able, as far as if you're talking about the unnoticed or getting free information, is people are on there and they're really pouring their heart out as far as how to do this and what you should do that, and people, so the audiences are asking questions and they're getting legitimate answers. So I think that's an awesome thing for technology to plug into, as well as to promote what you're doing.
Yeah, it's really becoming sort of the digital water cooler, isn't it? These chat rooms and other platforms are going to have Clubhouse. I have to say, I do think Clubhouse is for single people, though, because I'm finding is harder work than just listening to a podcast, because a podcast is a lot more functional. I may be showing my age.
Oh, I'm up there with you.
What do you see, though, in terms of sectors that there are opportunities, Audrey? Because we've talked a little about the technology, but do you see some categories that are growing? Any sectors that you see particularly buoyant now, either in America or worldwide? What's your sort of future visioning there?
Oh, wow. One area that's kind of hard hit that I serve is the cosmetology or the beauty and barber industry. And so they're still trying to work this, where you may be able to multitask with clients. Now you have to do this one at a time, and then they can't come in the building. And so that was definitely kind of hard hit. I was surprised that real estate and And I shouldn't be surprised about insurance, but those areas were booming. But what it did though was made owners look at the internal operations of the organization, what they're doing. So there came opportunities for new websites or web designs. I need help with marketing, so how can I beef up? Because a lot of times, and it happens to me too, you get so focused in that you forget about your own marketing.
That is too true. Now, you managed, though, to have a consultancy and also your web TV and a full-time job. So if people want to find out about you in the services you provide there, Audrey, what's the best place for them to find you?
Yes, if the best place is to go to Altogether.biz, to the website there, and you'll be able to link off and find me for all the things that I'm doing.
Audrey, thanks so much for joining me today. And I'm really admiring how you've managed to build an online TV channel just through your own ingenuity and resources. So congratulations and thank you for sharing that. Great. So you've been listening to Audrey Wiggins and I on The Unnoticed Show, and we've been talking about how you can create your own TV station and with your own channels as well, really just using off-the-shelf software. But if you're like me and not that technically savvy, just look up Audrey and let her help you with it all. All right. Hope you're doing well. Stay safe and wish you a profitable, if not a sustainable business. That's all for The Unnoticed Show this week.